Hey, you no-good, grubby little leech. I want to know just how long you plan on surviving off of all my dad's hard work. Don't you realize we'd all be so much happier if you just got out of our lives? I haven't heard from you in so long, and this is the way you break the silence? I feel like you've been completely ignoring me around the house as well, you know. I really don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm starting to get a bit sick of it. I mean, you're not even cooking the meals that I'm making for you anymore. And just who do you think you are talking to me as if you're my real mom, huh? You really need to remember your place in this family, you parasite. I'm sorry that you don't like the way I worded things, but I don't see how anything I said was false. I don't care what's true and what's false. I just know that I want you out of our lives. I really don't understand. Why are you coming to me and saying all of this all of a sudden? It's not so sudden for me. I know that my dad and I are going to be just fine on our own. We don't need some outsider leeching off of my family's wealth anymore. I'm sorry you feel this way about me, but maybe you should talk about these feelings with your father first. Then maybe we could all talk about this together with each other. Maybe your dad would even agree to move out and take you somewhere. And just why would my dad have to do something like that, huh? It's his house. If anyone should have to leave, it should be you. I really think that you should talk to your father about this before we carry on with this talk. Besides, I make $100,000 a year. What am I leeching off of anyone? I think you just want me out of the house is all. But what I don't get is what you think you're going to gain by doing so. What am I going to gain? Well, that should be obvious. I'll finally be ridding my family of a disgusting parasite that's been living off of us for years. Even Dad is getting sick of having you around. He's always talking about how he has to work all day, but you always spend all of his money. Meanwhile, you hardly leave anything for him to spend on himself. Did your dad really say that? Even about him having to work every day? Well, it's true, isn't it? You're always coming and going to and from the house whenever you want, but Dad only ever goes to work and comes home, and that's all he has time for. And it's all your fault. You keep a short leash and don't let him live his life the way he wants. I hate what you're doing to him. Tina, I really think that you need to get a grip and reassess the situation. And I don't say that for my sake, but for yours, okay? Just what do you know, huh? Don't pretend as if you know what I want. I know that you're a selfish woman who only ever does things for herself. That's why I want you out of our lives forever. I am trying to tell you that you're making a mistake here. You really need to go and talk to your dad about this. He can explain it all. Let me go and talk to him for a moment, and then I'll come back to you, okay? Can you please just give it a rest already with what you say to Tina?
What the heck are you talking about? I don't really care, but can you lend me some money? I'm almost through my budget for the month, and I need more. Come on. You know that you don't give me enough anyways. Just give me a little more.
You want even more money? What happened to all that I gave you already? How did you spend it all so quickly? Anyways, we're going to be talking about money after I say what I came here to say. You need to have a real conversation with your daughter and tell her the truth about what's going on. The more you put that off, the worse my relationship gets with her. I am tired of her talking down to me, insulting me, and treating me like an idiot because of you, Todd. I am seriously starting to reach my limit. Do you understand me?
I don't know what you want me to do. She's your daughter now, too, you know. Go be a good mom and learn how to control your children better.
Control her? Todd, she's already 17 years old. This isn't about controlling her, it's about giving her the information she needs to make her own decisions about life. You have to stop lying to her and telling her false information. She blames me for every single problem we have. It isn't fair that I should be the one taking all of the heat because you don't want to step up and tell her the truth. All of this would be solved if you weren't such a coward.
I will talk to Tina about my life when I'm good and ready to. Okay?
No, not when you're ready to. Now. You've been saying, when I'm ready, for years now. Don't you realize how this is affecting us as a whole family?
Yeah, of course. I know all that. And if you just give me a little more money, I'll really think about saying something. I promise. Now come on. I'm seriously down to my last few dollars. You've got to give me something.
You really are just the worst. Do you realize that, Todd? Hey there, Anna. I see that you've left for the day. You know that you don't need to bother coming back home ever, right? And just what is that supposed to mean? And since when did you start calling me by my first name? I mean that if you're already out of the house, you should stay out. All you do is make things worse, so just keep away. If you have something you want to say to me, why don't you just come out and say it? Well, I actually sent off the divorce papers for you and Dad. That means that you and him don't need to live together anymore. Dad and I are going to live together, and you'll have to go and figure out your own life. So you really did send the divorce papers for your father and I? And just how did you manage to get away with doing something like that? Well, you probably had no idea about this, but Dad had already printed out the divorce papers and kept them in his desk. I happened to see where he put them one day when he tried to hide them from me, and so I dug them out while he was away. I saw that he had already signed his name all where it needed to be. I really do need to thank Dad for being so prepared. So then you sent out divorce papers that your dad had already signed without telling either of us? I have to say that I am shocked at you. And since you don't even have a job, you probably won't be able to find a place to live now, too. I warned you that you should do a little more research into this before acting, but are you sure you really want me out of the house? Of course I am! This is what I've been waiting for forever! I feel like I'm having a dream come true! I'm finally getting to squash the horrible leech that's been on the side of my family for years. I feel at ease. It's like a great burden has been lifted off of our shoulders and the sun has come out after a rainy day. Just the thought of you being cold and homeless on the street is bringing me so much joy! Well, if this is what you really want, good luck, I guess. The one who's going to need luck is you! Whatever you say. I guess I'll take my leave from the house then. But I just have one last thing that I think you should know before I leave. And what last pathetic words do you have to say to me? I'm not the one who doesn't have a job. That would be your father. Wait, what is that supposed to mean? I mean that you said your father told you that he goes to work every day. That's a lie. All he does is spend his days at the casino wasting our money. Wait a second, you expect me to believe that? That's just ridiculous. Why would Dad lie to me about working? And why would he be spending all day gambling? I suppose this really is the first you're hearing about all of this then. But it's true. I'm afraid that everything your father said about me was just to protect his own reputation in your eyes, Tina. I don't get what you mean. This doesn't make any sense. Why would he need to worry about his reputation with me? I don't know. You should ask what he would have to gain by belittling me in front of you like he has been. He wanted you to take his side in everything. And you fell for it like a sucker. You defended him no matter what I tried to say, and you believed every lie he told you about me. No, this doesn't make any sense. You better start explaining yourself right this moment. In that case, one other thing you should know is that no matter how much your father put me down, he never wanted to throw me out of the house. And yet little did he know that he was pushing you to do just that to me with all of his lies about me being jobless. No, this can't be right. You're just trying to lie to me because you realize that you're getting kicked out. Well, I'm not listening. You're just some crazy old jealous loser. You can believe me or not. It won't really make any difference. But the truth is that I was giving your father money every month. He hasn't made his money in a long time, and yet you listened to everything he had to say about me. You really don't know when to stop all this, do you? I already said that I'm not listening to a word that you have to say anymore. Again, you are more than welcome to ignore all that I'm saying, but quite frankly, I've had enough of you two as well. But soon you'll be an adult, and you'll have to take responsibility for taking care of yourself. And then you'll have to choose whether to keep living with your father or go out on your own. I've actually learned how to take care of myself for a while now. We don't need you in our life anymore, so just beat it. Well, okay. But you do realize that if I leave, that means I won't be supporting you or your father anymore, right? There you go again, making up more lies. What support have you ever given? You really think that I'm going to fall for that? You act like you've given Dad and I everything when all you've done is taken. I know you're lying, so just stop it already. I'm not trying to upset you, Tina. I really am just trying to warn you. I just hope you don't regret what you're doing. Just shut up already, you old hag! Don't pretend like you're all that when you're really nothing! I never, ever want to see you again. You were never my mother, and I'm glad you're gone. Don't ever think of me as your daughter again. As of today, you're nothing to me. We are complete strangers. Okay then, I understand. I am not your mother, and you are not my daughter. Now, please don't come to me for anything else. Hey! Pick up the phone when I'm calling you, you stupid old witch! Can't you tell that your daughter is panicked? I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of work right now. Besides, I thought that you said you were going to stop calling me. But you were telling the truth about everything! I know that. What of it? Well, so now I finally know that you were! Please, you have to come back home to us! Dad is so mad all the time. I need your help. I really have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I don't even have a daughter. What do you mean? How can you say that? I didn't. You did. You told me to never think of you as my daughter again. So I'm sorry that you're having a rough time right now, lady, but that doesn't have anything to do with me. Anyways, goodbye. Hold on a second! Is this supposed to be some kind of joke? I'm your daughter! You can't just walk away from me! I'm sorry, but I've already told you that I don't have a daughter. We're just strangers to each other, remember? Wait, no, you're not really going to abandon me, are you? I didn't know Dad doesn't make any more. And he's so mad at me for sending the divorce papers. He's so scary and angry all the time now. I don't understand what happened. So I guess you finally understand the kind of man your father is now. What do you mean by that? I mean that I was always trying to protect you from him, but maybe that was my mistake. Because he took advantage of that and lied to you about me instead. But I had no idea he was that kind of person. I thought that my dad was kind and sweet, and what should I do now? He doesn't have money, he doesn't work, he doesn't do anything but gamble and drink. I suppose you'd better find a job and start working then. But I'm still in high school! I could only work a part-time job at best, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to go to college at this rate. Yeah? And to think you wouldn't have had to take out any loans if I was still around. What do you mean? You're not going to send me to college either? Well, I had a whole college fund saved up for my daughter, but since we're no longer family, I'm afraid that I can't pass that on to you. So I'm afraid the only option left for you now is to work for your money. Mom, please, you have to help me! Please don't call me Mom. I already told you that I don't have any children. You and I are nothing to each other now, and I owe you nothing. You wanted it this way despite my attempts to warn you, and now you need to take responsibility. You're almost 18, so consider this your first real life lesson. But I had no idea that Dad was lying to me! This isn't fair! How was I supposed to know that you were making all the money in our house? I tried to tell you the truth over and over again, but you just refused to listen to me. Well, then can I at least come and live with you? I hate living with Dad. He's so scary all the time. I'm so sorry for everything that I said to you. I'm afraid that I have a policy against letting strangers stay in my house. Besides, how do I know that you won't just fall into your old ways of looking down on me and insulting me all the time? But I need your help! I don't know what else to do! Well then, take your first step as an adult and figure out what to do. Good luck, stranger! In the end, Tina realized that I was only ever trying to tell her the truth, and that it was her father who was lying to her this whole time. It was quite a shock for her to realize this, and she fell into a deep depression afterwards. Shocked by learning about her father's true nature and forced to start working to take care of herself, Tina ended up dropping out of high school and working to sustain herself and her father. She tried to message me asking for help, but I had already blocked her on everything by then. I do plan on stepping in to help her eventually, but if I'm going to pour all my money and heart into raising her, I think Tina needs to learn some lessons about the real world before I put her back on track.
Hey, good evening, Carly. I need to ask you a little favor. Hey, are you there? Please respond. Good evening. Sorry, but I don't know who this is. Jog my memory? Do you seriously not remember me? By any chance, are you bad at remembering your friends' names, Carly? It's me, Leah, you dummy. Leah. Megan's mom? Surely that rings a bell. Oh, Megan from my son's class. So you're his mom. He says him and your daughter really get along. She sounds like a lovely girl. I can't believe it took saying my daughter's name for you to remember me. You really should make more of an effort with your friends. I'm really sorry, Leah. I hope you're not offended. Anyway, what was it you wanted? Can I help you with something? Yes, you can, actually. I need you to do me a little favor. A favor? From me? Don't worry, it's nothing difficult. Okay, great. So, what is it? It's about your husband, Callum. Will you lend him to me? Excuse me? Look, I'm sorry, Leah. I've read your message 3 times over, and I'm still no closer to understanding what you mean. Forgive me for asking, but by any chance, did you make a typing error? What? A typing error? You want me to lend you my husband? Yes, lend me him. What? I need him for the weekend. If you send him over on Friday night, you can have him back on Sunday evening. How does that sound? Be a darling and help out a friend. I obviously can't lend you my husband. What the hell? Huh? You can't? Of course I can't. He is my husband, not some inanimate object. Why would I lend you him? This is the weirdest question I've been asked in my life. Oh, please, would you stop? You're making me uncomfortable. You have to understand. My mother will be stopping by at the house on Saturday morning. Your mom, what does that have to do with my husband? I haven't been back to the family house or seen her in over 10 years. You could say the relationship has always been somewhat strained. I got married and had my Megan during those 10 years since we last spoke, so now I'm a mom and a housewife. I don't know how, but apparently she found out and wants to have a role in her granddaughter's life. Which means now she's intent on coming to visit this weekend to meet Megan and my husband. She wouldn't take no for an answer, so I have to take appropriate action. I see. That's all very interesting, and I'm sorry to hear you're in a difficult situation. But no matter which way you look at it, this still has nothing to do with my husband, Callum. Appropriate action. I don't understand what you mean. That's where you're wrong. It has everything to do with Callum. My mother asked for a picture of my husband, so I sent her a picture of your Callum. You did what? Think about it. He's so devilishly handsome. What choice did I have? Oh, not just a pretty face either. He's got a great reputation for being an amazing dad who's always there for the kids. He's practically in a different league to my husband. My man's so ugly, it looks like his face was designed by a blind man on drugs. And what's worse, he's always away on business. So that's why I need you to lend me Callum. No way. Huh? But I just explained in detail why I need him. I thought you were going to hand him over. I never said that, not even once. I've got it. Okay, how does this sound? If you lend me your Callum for the weekend, I'll lend you my husband sometime. One weekend and you get to choose when. That's fair, right? I don't want to borrow your husband. What's wrong with you? What do I have to do to get you to lend me him then? There's nothing you could do or say that could possibly change my mind. Do you understand? I'm saying this unequivocally. It's absolutely not going to happen. Oh, good grief. Why are you so stubborn and selfish? Which part is selfish? He's my husband, for crying out loud. Anyway, you said your mom's coming on Saturday morning, didn't you? Why do you want him from Friday night? I think that's quite obvious. If we suddenly have to play the part of loving couple in front of my mother straight after meeting each other, we won't seem genuine, and she'll figure out what's going on. That's why we have to spend the night together first, doing all sorts of loving couple things. If you catch my drift, wink. That way, we'll be very convincing, and my mother won't suspect a thing. What? Oh, yeah. And I need you to watch my kid while you're at it. As usual, my actual husband is out on a business trip overseas, so don't worry about him finding out and causing any drama. But that also means I need you to look after Megan while the two of us get hot and steamy. Don't worry. The things you're saying are causing me nothing but worry. You're actually disturbed. What? Hey, that's not very nice. Like, wow, are you actually this creepy? I'm worried you lost your mind, and I don't know whether I should find you professional help, because who the hell asks this? Tell me it's all a joke. Who'd have thought lovely little Megan's mom would be such a dangerous, perverted weirdo? Should you really be raising children? Oh my God, you're Are you trying to upset me? Oh, damn, that felt good. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I did go a little overboard there. It's like my hands took on a life of their own. A little overboard? All I'm asking is to borrow your husband and you bite my head off and try to commit me to a goddamn psych ward. Jeez, lady. Anyway, the main point here is that Callum is my husband. Whether it's just for the weekend or not, whether it's for some silly little charade to trick your estranged mother or not, he's not your husband. If in spite of that, you persist in making these creepy, inappropriate requests, I will be forced to take appropriate action. So I kindly request that you cease and desist at once. Goodbye.
Carly, help!
Huh? What's wrong, Callum? You'll be getting home soon, right? What's going on?
That Leah woman you told me about earlier is waiting for me outside the ticket gate at the station as we speak.
What? Like she's lying in wait to ambush you?
Probably. That's what it looks like. Her clothes are a little, how to put this, tight-fitting. She's wearing a miniskirt so tight she looks like she's ready to pop out of it. I could see so much skin, it wouldn't be weird if the police picked her up thinking she's cruising for clients. Her face is absolutely caked in makeup. It's terrifying. Ugh. She just winked and blew a kiss at me. This is so creepy. Ugh.
Oh, I guess that means she saw you then.
I'm just thankful I noticed before I left the ticket gate, but I won't be able to make it back home at this rate. I should have been more careful. I never would have guessed in a million years that she'd show up and wait for me at the station. She's unhinged.
What to do? Oh, okay, I got it. Can you go to the next station? I think it's called 16th Street Station, right?
16th Street Station.
I'm gonna come out on my bike to meet you. Let's meet up there and then go home together, okay?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I have to leave little Derek with my mom first before I get on my bike, so it's probably gonna be about 30 minutes until I get there.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna head over to 16th Street Station and sit tight.
Great. Let's meet at the northern entrance, okay?
It's a plan. See you soon. Thanks, Carly.
Carly, are you there? This is urgent. I went to meet Callum at the station after he got off work, but he turned around before exiting the ticket gate, and it seems like he went back into the station. What's going on? Me and him are supposed to be spending the night together. I pulled out all the stops. I tidied the place up, bought wine, candles, even baby oil, but he just vanished. What with us being a couple for the next 3 days, I thought it would make sense to come and meet him after work, because that's what couples do, right? I never would have thought that a big, strong, handsome man like him would be this shy. Can you persuade him to come out of the ticket gate ASAP, please? I'm getting cold in these clothes. Plus, we need to spend as much time as we possibly can together tonight to prepare for my mother's assault in the morning. He won't come no matter how long you wait. Huh? Callum's already at home with me. What? No way. He's still inside the station somewhere. I know he is. He didn't even leave the ticket gate yet. He's having a relaxing soak in the tub as we speak. Huh? No. You're making some kind of mistake. I saw him at the ticket gate just a little while ago. When I winked and blew him a kiss, he got all shy and turned back. He knows I'm waiting for him. He wouldn't just leave me stood around like this. He came home from the 16th Street station today. Huh? 16th Street? He messaged me begging for help as soon as he saw you. Then turned around, got right back on the train, and got off at 16th Street. I came out to meet him, and we went home together. We just arrived at the house. Wait, this isn't how things were supposed to be. We had a promise. We most definitely did not have a promise. In fact, I made it very clear that the answer was no, didn't I? But Carly, please. My mother will be here in the morning. I have to show her that me and my husband Callum are deeply in love. I showed her his picture already, damn it! How could you hang me out to dry like this? If you don't let me borrow him tonight, I'll be in big, big trouble. Why don't you just be honest and introduce her to your real husband? That way you won't scare the living daylights out of any innocent people, and your mom gets to meet your actual family. Everyone wins. Why not just say you got a little carried away and wanted to impress her? Play it off like you were joking and you're all embarrassed. I'm sure she won't mind. I can't do that. I'd never live it down. My husband's only redeeming quality is his salary. How can I introduce a man that unfortunate looking to my mother? Besides, it's only one weekend. What's the problem with lending me your hunky husband for a measly 3 days? Callum would have a good time. My mom would be proud of me for bagging such a great husband. Everyone wins. Oh, God, how many times? How many times do I have to tell you? Callum is not your husband. Can I kindly ask you to stop making me so angry? This is me holding back. You have no idea how hard I'm trying not to flip a switch on you right now. I just know I'm gonna say something I regret if you don't cut this out right now. Don't push it, Leah. I swear it won't be pretty. Carly, Do you understand what I meant when I said you were disturbed, that you need professional help? Since you're not actually my problem, maybe I should give a certain person away on business right now a call and explain the situation. Guys, don't do that! Okay, I'll stop, I swear. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Ah, you finally get it. Oh, what a relief. Oh, that's right. How could I forget? I'm so silly. Here's the thing. I may have already called your husband and told him exactly what you've been doing. All of it. Chat logs and all. What? You're bluffing. How would you have my husband's number? What the? I phoned kindergarten and asked for Megan's emergency contact details, which they kindly obliged. Oh, one more thing. He's not away on business anymore. Want to know where he is? That's right. He cut the trip short to come home and deal with his deranged wife. My guess is that he's waiting at home for you to get back. Don't keep him waiting, okay? What have you done? You have no idea how bad this is for me. My life is over. Oh, yeah. And let's not forget your mom. I wonder what she's gonna say. Huh? Apparently, your husband got her number off a friend of yours. He said she'll be arriving soon. Looks like they'll both be waiting for you when you get back. Oh, aren't you lucky? No way! Oh, I just got another message from your husband. I just spotted my wife dressed like a $5 prostitute while driving past the station. I'm going to take her home now. Ah, looks like your taxi's here. No! With that, Leah was successfully captured and taken home, where she couldn't do any further damage. Her husband told me a couple of things when he showed up at our house with some chocolates to apologize. First of all, as you probably expected, he decided to divorce her. It turns out she'd been treating her husband like her personal ATM for a long time before this, and had a habit of spending all his money on clothes and alcohol. Her attempt to steal my husband was the straw that broke the camel's back. Everyone has a limit, and this was his. What's worse, he said she almost never did the housework and showed no interest in childcare, so he was, for all intents and purposes, a single parent, despite living with his wife. He told me all about how Leah would force his mother to watch the kid while she went out drinking and partying into the early hours. Naturally, all of the above considered, her husband won custody of Megan. Having nowhere left to go, Leah went back to the family home after having no contact with her parents for 10 years. Apparently, the reason she became estranged from her parents in the first place was because they forced her to do ungodly amounts of housework that bordered on manual labor. Having nowhere else to go, she had no choice but to return to her old life of servitude, and is now exhausted 24/7, 7 days a week, due to being worked like a dog by her overbearing parents.